What is going on, everybody? It's my favorite day of the week, and that means another video. So we're going to be talking about how to properly modify your Mark 6 or Mark 7 Volkswagen Jetta /GLI TDI TSI, alright? So first, let's keep in mind that the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find out what kind of motor you have. The Mark 6 platform had a bunch of different motors, alright? So you're first going to want to figure out what motor you had. That's fairly straightforward. You know, you should already know this, but if you don't, pop your hood. They're very easily identifiable, especially with the engine covers. The engine covers kind of give it away. It'll kind of literally tell you what it is. If it's a TSI, it's probably a 1.8 or 2.0 T. Now, you're going to want to do whatever the year of your car is. You're going to type in 2.0 T specs, and it's going to break it down. You're going to get into engine code, and you're going to look up your modifications from there, because you want to make sure it works. But a lot of websites take the guesswork out of it, and they just tell you to plug in your make, model, and year. So they kind of take care of that for you already, so you don't really have to worry about that too much. But if you want to know, it's probably a good idea if you're going to be modifying your Mark 6. You're going to want to know as much as possible, so if something goes wrong, it's not like a surprise. All right? So once we figure out what kind of motor we have, we are going to want to think about what do we want to do first. Now, that depends on your budget and what your goals are. You're not going to want to go stage 1 if the end goal is a hybrid turbo, stage 2 plus, stage 3, something insane like stage 5. Like, that's not even a thing, but people call it that, which is cool, you know, it makes sense. Now, if that's your goal, don't waste your money on stage 1, all right? Y'all listen in, don't waste your money on stage 1 or stage 1 plus, all right? No reason to get excited and get the power. It's gonna feel better, and it's gonna be better if you save up, you get the supporting mods for your stage 2 or higher, all right? Now, if you're not about stage 2 and you're deciding between stage 1 or stage 1 plus, there's normally not big of a difference. You might need an intake for stage 1 plus. Just, it'll tell you on most websites, it'll say like, hey, this is required or highly recommended, but most of the time you don't really need it, so you're okay, stage 1 plus. Now, if you're having issues, you'll probably get a check engine light, and the code will kind of tell you what the issue is. Not enough flow, too much flow, so on and so forth. Sorry guys, had to make that turn, and that turn's always awful, because like that guy literally always comes in my lane, because I'm not trying to hit the curb over here, so it's super duper annoying. See, look, he's coming in my lane again. Look at this dude. Get off your phone. Super annoying. Anyways, back on topic. So in terms of an intake, I highly recommend an intake on stock maps. They're just really fun and they sound good. Honestly, they don't really give you too much power, so don't expect anything. What you're gonna get with an intake is more turbo noises, more induction noises, and you're gonna get increased throttle response. Now, that is super duper important because you're gonna want the car to drive good. When the car responds good, it also drives good. You know, it's all about how it feels when you're modifying your car. You wanna modify it so it feels good, feels better. So an intake will do that. Now, you're not really gonna get any gains unless you tune for the intake. You know, you consider the intake when you tune. That just gets more power, because more air, more flow, more fuel, more boost, more power. It's just basic stuff. Now, do you need one for stage 1 or stage 1 plus? No, you don't, but it's probably a good idea because it's fun, it sounds cool. But if that's not in your budget, just skip it. You don't even have to do it, guys. Don't have to do it. Now, for a blow-off valve, everybody's like, okay, the intake sounds cool, sometimes it gives me a blow-off noise. Do I need an upgraded blow-off valve? No, you don't really need that unless you're stage 2 or stage 3. If your car doesn't come with a blow-off valve and it's internally or externally wastegated, the turbo, don't really add one. It's not really a good idea, especially if you don't understand how your motor works. That is at all the EA 211 1.4T. Let's go on to the next point. So if you have a 2-liter or 1.8, even the 1.4, you're going to want to upgrade your charge pipes if you're going stage 2 or stage 2 plus. Because normally the OEM ones crack and fail, and now you have a boost leak, or shit, you might even blow up your car. But you know how it is. if you're going stage 2 or stage 3 or so on and so forth. But if you're going stage 1 or stage 1 plus, no, it's not worth it. Not like, it'll probably do more, it'll probably be worse than it is good. Oh, there's a Corvette up my ass right now, but the light is red, cousin. Alright, still up my ass. Anyways, really, it's pretty straightforward. You guys don't really have to do anything before you do anything else. I mean, when you're modifying your car, the nice thing about it is you can kind of do it in whatever order you want, with only like one exception coming to, if you're gonna flash stage 2 or higher, or you're just gonna swap in a turbo, you must, it's a requirement to get a high flowing, properly fitted downpipe. You don't have to do the exhaust, but it's probably a good idea, because if you don't do the exhaust with the downpipe, you'll kind of sound like a Honda. You won't get the best note, is what I'm saying, all right? I'm sure it's still a 4-pot. It is what it is. But if you flash stage 2, you'll probably overstress the turbo, overstress the motor, overstress anything related to that, and you won't make the power that you're supposed to be making on the map, which sucks. And then what's probably going to happen is you're going to blow out your cat, and it's going to sound awful, and you might even block up your exhaust and blow up your motor that way. So I mean, do we want to blow shit up? Not really. All right, I want to try to wrap this up. Sorry about that. I want to wrap this up. I don't got a whole lot of time. So yes, so if you're going to do a hybrid turbo, swap in turbo, drop in turbo, any type of turbo upgrade, you're going to want to get an upgraded downpipe. So let's take care of the downpipe. Let's avoid those issues. Honestly, if you just want to do stage 2, stage 2 plus, all you need is a downpipe and a flash or a custom tune, and you're done. You don't really need all the other stuff. You don't need it, but it'd probably be a great idea. Probably be in your best interest if you got a front mount intercooler, cools out the intake temp so you have more boost, get more air in there, or you get an upgraded heat exchanger. It does the same thing depending on your platform. You need to figure out what kind of cooling system you have, okay? Upgraded radiator, just keep the engine at temp so you don't overheat, don't blow it up. That is in your best interest as well if you're going stage 2 and whatnot. Same thing applies for like an intake. It's probably in your best interest. You don't necessarily need it, but it's probably in your best interest if you do that. Get an intake, get more flow, but plus you'll get like super cool noises. So like it's a win-win, I think. I think it's a win. Yeah, I mean, you don't need an intake. It's probably a good idea, guys. Like just do it. You know, get a little hot air for some noises. It is what it is. You cool the hot air anyways going through the heat exchanger or front mount, so it's okay. It's okay. Like a little hot air is okay. Plus, you can block off an open-ended intake anyways. You can get enough heat shielding and whatnot to prevent all that. So I think it's a win-win. I think you can make it work. And then, you know, now you got cool noises. It sounds like sounds like a modified car. It sounds cool. You know what I mean? You know, that's what we're all about. My next thing I want to talk about is aesthetically, wheels, tires, suspension, handling, aesthetics type of stuff. There's no right or wrong way to start, but there's probably the proper way would probably be the proper way is to lower your car first. Lower it on stock wheels looks way better than aftermarket wheels on stock ride height. I'll say it again for the people in the back. Lowered on stock wheels looks better than aftermarket wheels on OEM ride height. It's just fact. Like, if you can find me a car that says the opposite, shit, at me in the comments. I kind of want to see it like that. I think it's kind of cool, but I've never really seen that. Not really. Like, that's rare because most of the time you are sizing up, and yeah. So your options are a H&R, not H&R. I mean, just lowering springs. Lowering springs, coilovers, or bags. We're not gonna talk about cutting springs. Like, y'all don't need to do that. Like, it's probably cheaper if you just get lowering springs. You can get some really cheap lowering springs. But I did have H&R lowering springs, and I went to BC Racing coilovers. Honestly, if you're debating between lowering springs or coilovers, the only thing you need to decide is if, like, are you gonna have the car for a while? If so, you're probably gonna want to go lower in the future. And you're probably gonna want to have adjustability and whatnot. So just say F the lowering springs, take it from me, and go straight to coilovers. You'll get lower in time. Like you will, over time, the car will get lower. Like you'll literally want to lower it every time you see it. Now, to get bags, like you really got to have the cash on hand to do that. I don't really see the need for it, in my opinion, especially if you're doing performance. Just stick with coilovers. You'll probably be happier in the long run. But hey, you know, fuck it, full send, let's get bags. Now, learn from me, guys. I'll make the mistakes for you, just learn it from me, all right? Now for wheels, if you're doing performance, let's get lightweight wheels. Let's just save yourself the issue. Lightweight wheels will dyno higher. They will perform better. They will respond better. They will feel better. Just do that. Honestly, just do that. Now, you want to be as fast as possible if you're doing performance. You want everything, all your mods have to be related to, like if your goal is to make power, don't get heavy wheels. Let's get lightweight wheels. Like I have RPF ones. My Koenigs were pretty light, but the RPF ones are 5-6 pounds lighter. Like the Koenigs were like almost 21 pounds, and these RPF ones are like 15, 16, like 15 pounds. I think it's 15 and a half. Like it's insane. Like you're gonna make more power that way. So just do that. It's easier. I'm not saying get RPF ones. There's plenty of other Koenig wheels and shit. Artista Flowform wheels from Fitment Industries. Like those are pretty light. Shit, you can do that. And for sizes, really that's preference. I've had 15, 16, 17s, and 18s. And honestly, I like the 17s better because it's a good combo of wheel and tire. 18s, if you don't like all the sidewall, get 18s and you'll have less sidewall. It's just preference. But keep in mind, when you have less sidewall, it does ride a little rougher. And you also have to make your coilover stiffer, your bag stiffer. It's just, you know, the trade-off. I'm not saying you can make it work. It's not that bad, honestly. Like, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. You know, it's preference. You'll learn. You guys will do your research, go on the forums. Google's your best friend. YouTube is your best friend. And VW Vortex is your best friend. The Volkswagen forums, literally, people have done this shit before. And they write about it. They don't really post about it. They just write about it because, I don't know. The car scene's weird. Which is totally fine. You know, I'm not hating on anybody. So, you better off doing first. Like if you're stock and you're thinking about making big power, let's do intake first, and then we'll do downpipe, then we'll do exhaust, and then we'll go bolt on turbo or drop in turbo. Like that. Like you do it in steps. Like you don't have to do full send all at once. That's expensive, and I don't think you guys can take the hit right away because it's just rough doing it like that. Now, shit, if you got a boatload of money and you just want a full send, go ahead, but I think it's more enjoyable. I think the process is more enjoyable. Do a little bit at a time. If your end result is stage 3, whatnot, let's do it a step at a time. Intake, cap back, downpipe, tune, custom tune, drop in turbo, fueling, done. But as long as you know your engine model and kind of car you have, Google, YouTube's your best friend. You're going to look up how to make it go faster, downpipes, reviews, flash tunes, stage 2. And you guys are going to be heading in the right direction. It's pretty straightforward. There's no right or wrong way to do this, guys, all right? I know I said that a lot, but seriously, there's no right or wrong way to do it. As long as at the end of the day, you are happy, you are satisfied with what you have done, that's all that matters. And when you're finally done with the car, or you are like, and you're, you know, in a position where it's like, shit, this is good. That is when you know that you made the right decision. You want to, at some point, be like, I'm glad I did all of this. You don't want to get a downpipe if you're going stage, if you're only going stage 1. It's just, you'll be like, damn, why'd I waste some money on that? It's not really doing me anything. With that said, guys, if you have more questions, if you want me to go more in-depth on topics, I'm probably going to go more in-depth on intakes, because there's a lot of, not controversy, but there's a lot of back and forth about intakes that people are unsure about. So I want to clarify some things, so I'll probably go more in-depth on intakes. But if you guys have any more specific questions or mods that you want me to go in-depth on for the Mark 6 platform, shoot them my way. Appreciate all y'all. We're almost at 1K. Do me a favor, like and subscribe. Helps your boy out. We'll see you next Wednesday.